Ooh. Alright. I think things are good to go for the most part. My name's Awakened Cloud, and there's somebody outside my door. That kind of freaked me out. I saw something in my peripheral for a second. Anyway, my name's Awakened Cloud, and we are continuing our journey through the Forgotten City, which is a game that originally started out as a Skyrim mod, but doesn't play anything like Skyrim. It's more of an adventure thing, where you're a character who gets transported to ancient Rome, and essentially you're trying to prevent anybody in the city from sinning. So we're just gonna jump in. I don't remember the controls perfectly, but what I do remember is there should be a lady in this upcoming area. She locked herself in here? Oh. My aim is not on point right now. That was new. I've never seen a statue up and attack me like that. I should probably keep my bow out just in case. So you do hear something earlier in the game where it's like 2 of these arrows can turn a man into gold. So I guess it makes sense that these people that have been partially transformed take 1 or 2 arrows. What's this place like this, though?
You're not supposed to be here.
Algae, turn the algae to gold. This way.
Here? This is an interesting spot. Down here? So bad, I'm stuck. I'm gonna die here. How's it going, James? It's going pretty well. Just making some progress in this game, Forgotten City. I just started, so I can't say I made any progress, to be honest, but I'm enjoying it. How are you doing? God, my aim needs work. There we go. Come on, I should be able to get up there somehow. Heck, if I have to glitch it, that works for me. Gotta be something I'm not doing right here. Doing good. Reminds me of the forest. It does have a little bit of horror game vibes. If I haven't played the forest, but I'm pretty sure the forest is a horror game, if I recall. Now this is weird. Since those butterflies are there, I should be able to turn that to gold. That's what I get for taking a week off of this game. How do I get up here? Okay, whatever. We're here. I must have missed the first time. But essentially, James, the premise of the game is we got transported to ancient Rome, and the city is sinless right now. But the catch is, if anybody sins, the entire city pretty much gets turned into gold statues. So I'm trying to prevent sin from happening. So it's kind of like a detective mystery type thing as well. All of them get into the water. Just do one collective. Yep. All of them are gold. Nice. Also, for some arbitrary reason, the statues in this town, which happen to be alive, I can kind of hear them moan and just kind of lament the fact that they're alive and just eternally gold. Yes, this game is very eerie, but it's also really cool. Key to the palace doors. Examine. I'll take it.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company.
Jeez.
I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing.
So this lady is like the other person, only person aside from me that can hear the voices.
Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of haunting sadness. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might...
So she's trying to reverse the
hear you
process.
speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
That's a trail of blood, so that's not a good sign. I don't really want to miss any items because coins become very helpful. For some reason it's not letting me move forward. There we go. Supposed to go that way. Okay, let me recess this. Well, maybe I am supposed to go this way. Maybe I just have to be really careful on this wall. Feels super glitchy, but I guess we made it.
Please. Please. Take it stop.
I could have just trapped him in here. Oh well. kill? Nope, nope, definitely not a double kill. Let me go the other direction for a second. This is creeping me out. Yeah, let me backtrack, because there was another path, potentially. No, it was barricaded, never mind. We had to go this way. I'm a little concerned I killed her and didn't turn her into gold. Because that would be a sin, and if I sinned, I'm screwed. That means the run is essentially over at this point. Let me look at this journal.
My beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I
You
was
drilled through the
vindicated
gold?
by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living
Oh, it was living flesh, so they were still alive. I killed that lady.
This golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule.
That's not how it
yet,
works.
Somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodame to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door.
I'm gonna get a blanket real
As
quick.
I continued working
'Cause I'm
on
cold.
others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this god's forsaken place.
That scared me, I'm not gonna lie. Long. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't find the vase. There is so much blood here. And this was her trying to save all these people? This is not going to be a pleasant scene. Okay. I know who you are. Yep, Navia.
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away.
What do you
You're
mean?
going to pay for that. Liar. I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. I just wanted to do my experiments in peace for her. And now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen into this. Look at her. She's in agony.
How did
All
I
I
ma-
wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face, to hear her speak freely, instead of in those cryptic whispers. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. And now I discover she started whispering to you instead. What's so special about you?
Let's see. It's not just the statue whispering to me. A lot of them do it. But it's always the same voice.
What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me. They didn't sound similar. I just thought it was because all voices sound the same when they whisper. But now that I think about it, they were all benevolent and seemed to share a common knowledge. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice, then this body is nobody. And everything I've done here was...
Cruel. Incredibly cruel.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to steal her away from me.
Well, why? I
Are
don't...
you planning to wait until I've done all the hard work, then swoop in? Is that it?
No.
Liar! You tried to steal her away from me, and now look what you made me do. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't peel you too. What? What are you talking about?
Yes.
Wait. So you're saying you weren't coming for us?
No.
So I did all this. I ruined her. For nothing. What have I done? Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being like this.
I
So much
think I see where
pain.
this is going,
It's
but...
the air coming into contact with her flesh. It's agonizing for them. But the only way to fix it will be to break the golden rule and
No,
let
no,
it
no, no, no,
run
no, no,
its
no, no.
course. At least that way she'd be golden again, and we'd be together. All it would take is one little cut.
I can undo this.
It's too late. There's nothing you can do. I have to do this. I'm sorry.
I can cover her in gold again.
What? How?
I got the bow.
Really? I'm not sure I believe you. But if you can undo this mess, I'll give you the key to my old medical chest in the Shrine of Apollo.
Medical
I
chest in the
imagine
Shrine
it
of
would help
Apollo.
Lucretia ease the suffering of those still in the city.
Okay.
If you're lying to me, I'll break the golden rule and kill you and everyone else in this city. Understood? You did it. You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you. I swear I will never harm her again. I swear it.
You literally
I'll stay
can't.
here to keep her company. But these poor souls, what can be done for them? I've tried everything I can. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is whichever god doomed them in the first place. In any case, I must honor our bargain. Here's the key I promised you. It opens a chest in the Shrine of Apollo.
Shrine of Apollo.
I believe there are a few things in there which may be useful to Lucretia.
I'm gonna have to find the Shrine of Apollo.
Now, please leave. The door here leads out onto the palace balcony. You should be able to make your way down from there. Go, and never return.
Oh, trust me, I'm never gonna come back here.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus decius won't give it to me. It's too late. She just slipped away. No, now's fine. I can't afford to wallow here. And I need the distraction. What's on your mind? Well, come back if you get sick.
I'm gonna
Winter.
reload my save
Day
real
or
quick.
night, I'll do what I
Because
can.
I need to talk to her after 3:51. What time is it right now? 3:53. Okay. This should be good. I just have to figure out where the Shrine of Apollo is.
Go, and never return.
So, Shrine of Apollo. Got medicine. I might be able to save that person. If I can't save that person, I can definitely save the next person. What's the Shrine of Apollo, though? Shrine of Apollo. Man, I wish this dude was here. I would murder him myself. Guy locked me in the temple and left me to die in the first place. Getting an echo from the speakers. Okay. Let me turn down the game audio. I appreciate that. Huh. Name of Apollo. Is that better?
Greetings and salutations.
I have to sneeze so bad.
I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the
Thank you.
markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
You'd
And
never
now
believe
you
me
have
if I
me
told
more
you.
intrigued than before. But since it appears you do not wish to share, I will wait until we are better friends. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
More or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you
Yeah, so the
agree?
golden rule is essentially don't commit sin or you will be turned to gold. It is quite literally a golden rule.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
Alright, let's talk
Anything
about
you
something
like.
else.
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malone.
Okay, so he can be
I
swayed.
do not enjoy the thought of another visit
There's an
from
election
the
coming up,
neighbors
too.
If I voted the wrong way. Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
Hmm.
I hope
Going
that
for
our
now.
paths
Let me
cross
find
again
this
soon,
Shrine
my
of
friend.
Apollo. That's really the long and short of what I need to do. I wish there was just a map. If there was some type of map system in this game, I'd be good to go.
Ave again. Did you find what you need? I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Is there a short
I
version?
suppose so. Jupiter and Mercury put a town to the test by disguising themselves as vagrants and asking for shelter there. Everyone turned them away and failed that test, except for an old couple named Baucis and Philemon, and so the gods gave them time to escape and granted them a wish, and then wiped that town off the map.
That seems
Some
fair.
say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves. I'm pleased to hear it. See you again soon, I hope.
Shrine of Apollo. Shrine of Apollo. Guess it might be the one up here. Maybe. Also, why is the frame rate acting so weird right now? Always remember they're watching. He died on the toilet. Okay, and this is just a back entrance to here. Inventory. Let's see. I have 2 of these keys. So what does that even... Could follow a lead. Something's wrong with the Shrine of Apollo. Okay. Hoping that would put a marker on my map. Apparently it didn't. Okay. Should be able to get up there. Or is that where I came from? I think that's where I came from. Yeah, they give you 2 options of how to get down. Okay, that's fine. Keep going up. Maybe this is a Shrine of Apollo up here. Close to this cave right here. Find a creative way into the upper cistern. I can... Gonna see if I could use the branches or leaves or whatever to climb into it. There might be a way to climb down into it. Just gotta find it. Nope. Invisible wall. Darn it. This is also an invisible wall. Seems somebody removed a plaque here. I'll need to find it to decipher the meaning of the obelisk. Let's see what happens. Nope, that is the Great Temple door, and that is locked. How can we pass this test if we don't even know the rules? The golden rule is kind of fun. Yeah, it is. A lot of this game is about the irony of the golden rule. Like, oh, what happens in a perfect city where, you know, people can't sin? Well, it turns out people find a lot of ways to not sin, but instead continue to be terrible in a lot of other roundabout ways. Some coins. This place is a lot bigger than you think it is at first glance. I feel like I'm very close to finding something important. I just probably walking right past it in a lot of ways. Also, how many coins do I have at this point? 14,040. Go down or to go across? Go across. Wait, this is where I freaking started, isn't it? Yeah, this is literally the start. Okay. Gonna have to lurk, no problem. I appreciate you hanging out in the first place. I just need to find this Apollo shrine. Where is it? Maybe... I don't think that's the shrine of Apollo. I think that's just the village manor.
I hope you have a good reason for flouting my weapons ban. We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over.
Yep.
Is that about right? If so, what happened? Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you sought me out again for a reason.
Let's see. I was hoping to ask you some
Ask
questions.
Good. Now, was there something else you wanted to discuss?
What's your
Sextus
story?
Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians. It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform. As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent. My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now, the port is usually bustling, but just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from
Another
here,
person
in the
that
company
ended
of
up
some
on the
stranger.
riverbank, not
I
far
went
from
looking
here.
for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest. I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead.
Let's
Very
talk about
well.
something else.
If I did, I'd have led these people out of here already. I've had plenty of time to think about it. Let me see if I can
Yeah, I
sum
would
up
like to
my
know his thoughts. Does he
I've
actually,
always
is he
considered
pro
my guiding star
Golden
to
Rule?
be the well-being of the Roman people. Our survival and prosperity have always hinged upon honoring the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. Dishonor them and we all die. It's as simple as that. The real enemy in this place is not the Golden Rule, but human failings. The
I don't know.
temptation to slide into degeneracy, greed, and hubris. I trust that answers your question.
Kinda.
Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job.
Unless you
Either
get shot
that,
right now.
Or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
Oh, so there is a time limit.
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare.
I guess I can't talk to them right now. But I've never actually seen the election happen. So... see how this works out. Don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't. Okay.
just starting.
Elections on!
Well, we just got 1,000 money, which is nice. I want to quickly know what's up here. I'm gonna get super lost if I keep... I think I've been down here before. Let's talk about this election stuff. I'm actually curious what happens. Shrine of Apollo. If I could find the Shrine of Apollo, I feel like I could pop everything wide open.
I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is going to end very poorly because somebody's going to sin immediately. It's going to be like his first act, probably.
And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found
Oh, really?
treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius. Here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate
All these statues are going to come to life. This is going to end very poorly.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Well, that was unsuccessful attempt number 2.
salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back? Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
I need you to stop Fabia entering the empty shrine and tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking for.
All right,
Yes.
see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but there's a light in your eye. Coming on a bit strong, don't you think? I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So,
Ixian turns.
you know, normally I'd expect you to buy. Straight to business, huh? I can work with that. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out. I'm happy to tell you all about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it?
1,000 denarii?
Is it
Okay.
worth, say, 1,000 denarii to you? I'm impressed. Didn't take you long to gather quite the little fortune. And now for my end of the bargain. Here is your way out.
Hemlock. A bottle of the deadly poison hemlock, famously used by ancient Romans to commit suicide. Okay.
This is hemlock. Drink this and your life will be over in no time. Because the only way out of here is death. Congratulations on your purchase. Sorry, a deal's a deal. No refunds.
Blackmail might.
Oh, I think it is. Pleasure doing business with you.
Can I say anything else to her?
Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, cap at murder.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold great.
Let's see. Steal the syphilum resin from...
Livia, would you...
from Decius's stall.
Stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron. You'll scare away my customers.
Okay, I think I know who that is, at least. You know what? I don't care if I break the golden rule once. Is that Decius right there?
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Decius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to
Let me
defend
talk
myself against someone else with a weapon?
This guy locked me in a
There are
place
other
and left me to
weapons in the
die.
city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it. Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a glorious bow you're carrying. Do you mind if I ask where you acquired
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Well, I'll take your word for it. But perhaps you'd be interested in selling it to me. I mean, it's not as if you have any use for it down here. Now you're talking, I'm interested. How about 100 denarii?
Make it 1,000.
Oh, that's a little excessive, don't you think? It's not the bow of Ulysses we're talking about. All right. But I'm going to need you to tell me before I pay up. Wait. Let's not be too hasty, friend. I just want a little assurance that I can trust you, that's all.
Really? Or you're the one that needs to have trust?
I suppose you're right. All right, you drive a hard bargain, but here's your money. Now, the location of that bow. What? But I already knew that, you imbecile. Everyone knows that. I can't take that golden bow because stealing from the goddess in her own shrine would break the golden rule. You promised
Just
to
be
tell me where I
creative.
could get one
Be
of my own.
creative. Be creative.
What is this? Some kind of joke? I don't believe this is happening.
It's fun. Maybe we should do it again
Don't even
sometime.
talk to me.
How about this resin?
Don't even talk to me.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Sintius! Well, that was a shorter loop that time, but we did get that resin.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that book? Oh, so... All right.
Now, what's it saying? Give some syphilin resin to Lucretia before Lulia dies. So the Shrine of Apollo is at giant area. And I have a key. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with the key.
Cannot catch the drops of water.
Well, let me see. Key to the chest in the Shrine of Apollo. See, the problem is it doesn't say key to...
Fabia, listen.
There's a troublemaker coming into the city.
I know, and I'll take care of him. Just go and hide, but not in the empty shrine.
Wait, how did you know I was headed in there?
No time to explain. Go!
All right, I'll be in my bakery. Thank you, Galerius.
This will be fun to watch. Will never not be entertaining. I'm just gonna hide behind this tree like a little creepy dude. Good work.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Curse you, cultist.
He's dealt with. So there's some water in this shrine. I'm gonna see if I can make anything gold. Right here. I don't see any butterflies. Nah. What is that bright light? It almost seemed like there was something in the water. But I think that's just a video game reflection. Time is it? 4:30. Jeez, time flies. I only have about less than an hour because I want to get a haircut today. And the place I go to closes at 6. Get into his chest. This is the Shrine of Apollo. My understanding. I can steal from this dude.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Shiny.
I don't know where this chest is. That's ticking me off.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culas cubulates decius won't give it to me. What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle? Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments.
Ah, I can talk to her. That would be helpful.
Who poisoned her and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need. I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired.
Okay, this is Nevia's clinic, so this is where I can use the key.
But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here. It's all right. Say what you will about this place, at least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
So she's pro-golden rule, from what I can tell.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues.
I wonder why Nevia can hear the statues.
And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem. A real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I actually got in there.
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go.
Be careful who you trust.
I'll talk to her in a second. Flatulence, rhubarb, ulcers, gentian, stomach pain, leucoriza, rheumatism, willow bark, boils, aloe. So I need willow bark. Let me talk to,
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
What happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
Okay. I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Okay, it was probably Malleolus.
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I couldn't talk to, whatever her name was, Caliola?
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I've got time.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price.
Oh, Aurelia's
1,000
scum.
denarii.
She wants the
supposed to be
hemlock.
my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter.
So you were really
I
kind of
paid
stealing in a
Aurelia,
way.
and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was?
I got it too.
You figured it out already. I wish I'd been so astute. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning. That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad.
You've
She
only
sent
been
me
here
to
for a
work
week,
on
though.
An endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
The hemlock?
My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it. I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid. When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started.
We
Only
need to fix this.
time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course. I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact
suicide
with
pact.
Artemis last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
So I need to
I
get
doubt
him
you
to
could
live
make
too.
it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you. All right, but please don't take too long. You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life. So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while, until 7 months ago when the fires
I'm wondering if these
came.
fires are ever going to get explained
My
in a bigger
colleagues and
way.
I worked desperately
Because
to
it's been
try
brought
to
up a
protect
lot.
our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here. Thank you, but to be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
And ask her that. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Our priestess, Equitia, once told me it's the god's way of creating a city without sin. But if that's the case, then whichever god is responsible for it didn't think it through. I mean, all it really does is make bad people better at hiding their sins, and good people too frightened to stand up for themselves. I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make grown men cry. Romans. They don't cry easily. They've never physically hurt
I gotta
anyone.
remember who Domitius
But
is.
the point is, they don't have to. They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus is the favorite to win today's election. Really? Then I hope fortune smiles on you, friend. All right. Thank you again for saving my life.
Oh, she said thank you.
A golden bow. Just feeling all right? Oh, I see. Well, what's the treatment?
Willowbark.
Willowbark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle
Rufius.
down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster. Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did. Sure. What do you want to know? Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it. Gladly.
Fair enough. So
That's a shame. Thanks again.
Pretty much
for
in this
saving
universe,
Julia's life.
telling somebody to kill
Apollo
themselves is
smiles
not a
upon
sin.
you.
Head up here to Rufus. I don't know if I've met Rufus.
Name's Rufus. Better watch your step. What business is that of yours? Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching in the...
Is he Christian or is he...
It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
What's your story?
Can't talk long, but to stay sharp, but... family's from Solution on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. One they call Ironclads. Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious? Not sure. I was fighting with the 6th against Parthians in the east. Only my whole body was aching every time I took a swing at my gladius. It was the rheumatism. Relentless. Unending. Of course, I wasn't going to get any sympathy from my commander. So I started thinking, what if, in the next battle, I just didn't try as hard?
Was everybody here just dead?
What if I let my guard down just long enough? Next battle came, and all I remember is this bloody great savage coming toward me. And I just loosened my grip, and then nothing. I woke up by the river. Some strange man in an eagle headdress had fished me out. Kamut Tabal, I think he called himself. Then I found this place, and that's it.
Yeah, that was odd.
Are you calling me a liar? I just opened up to you, and you're doubting me to my face? I won't make that mistake again. I have nothing to say to you, Kaput Mada.
$4:50. What time is it right now? 4:53. We're just gonna do this the fast way. Like, I could reset the time loop, but since I'm only gonna be streaming for a couple more minutes, most likely. Or the game could just crash. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, I'd have to go to Task Manager to... Man, I can't even... Alt F4 isn't working. I'm gonna have to do one of these clever things. Was it Windows Alt Control Tab? I still can't get Task Manager to... Okay, here we go. Maybe. I need to do the thing where I get a new desktop, and I don't remember how to do that off the top of my head. Let me try desktop. No, that wasn't it. Well, give me one moment. Ignore everything weird that happens with my webcam, because it's my phone, and I'm gonna have to look this up on my phone. New desktop shortcut. Windows Control D. That work? How do I switch to a new desktop? It says Windows Control D. No matter what I do, I can't do anything. This sucks. Give me a moment. Just key Control D. Okay, there we go. Now Control Shift Escape. Oh, I had it. Okay. Let me go to Task Manager here. Stop. Desktop 2. What if I kill the Task Manager here? Every time I do anything, it switches me. I see what I'm gonna have to do. Control Delete Task Manager here, and then get it to show up. This is really problematic. I'm sorry, guys. This is... I literally cannot get out of this. I honestly don't know a way to get out of this without potentially... Oh, okay. Right click always on top for Task Manager. This works. God, that was painful. We need to kill the Forgotten City. Woo! That was a fight. It was a big fight. Now, Cam, back to where it was, and let's boot up the game again. Whew. I started like 50 virtual desktops on accident. And let's see where they load us.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Now all we gotta do The priestess.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. See you again soon.
Is she the priestess? I can check my inventory. I have a thing that has everybody's names on it. At least I thought I did. Citizen register. Okay. What the priestess? Patrician. I don't see priestess. Okay, duty, Virile priestess. There we go. Why is it saying the priestess?
Oh,
The statue whispered to me.
Oh my. I suppose you Oh, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask what... You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here? Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you. You do? Well then, have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns. I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
Livia...
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly...
This Livia's the one that locked herself in the room.
She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw.
Or no, Livia's the old lady, isn't it?
I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you? You have? Then what is it? Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else? That's true.
Memory lapse?
I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. You mentioned earlier you met a young woman in the forest named Karen, yes?
That's right.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
I think Karen was wearing a hood.
Because I've seen her before. There's something something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths. But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Nobody behind us. Jeez. Literally have to walk to the very back here.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N.
Karen? The god of death?
As in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
The ferryman?
Charon, who in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the
Okay.
dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
That's pretty good.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
So I was thinking we were all dead.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final
And that
moments.
last guy that I
It
talked
also
to
tells us
before it
that
crashed
the Golden Rule
made it
is the
obvious.
work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
So I got to do something real quick. And we've probably got about 5 to 10 more minutes of streaming, but I have to make my appointment for the haircut if it's even possible. Let's see. Hopefully I don't end up doxing myself somehow in the process of doing this. What? Complete. Okay, cool. Let's quickly get through this dialogue tree right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep
And then I
forgetting
gotta
you're not from here.
jet.
If you were Roman or even
Hey,
Greek,
Trunks.
you would know
Just
these
in at the
stories.
wrong time.
Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's
We just hit a
obol
pretty big
called it.
twist. I'm not gonna
Of
say
course,
it, but
an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
oh, no problem, man.
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described.
I'm actually gonna have to
And
get my
he,
shoes on right
she,
now.
They seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut-Tabal
Kumut-Tabal, I do
wearing
remember
an
that.
eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
So we had a special coin on us.
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape.
But didn't they kind of mess up?
Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Oh my gosh, I don't have time for this.
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Notice you seem uncomfortable calling the gods of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Well...
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld.
How would I...
But
Yeah, I'm not
he
a
was
demigod, so...
Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day.
We'd like that.
You'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques.
Yes, there are 4 plaques missing.
It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is
Roman,
decorated
Greek,
in a
Egyptian,
different
and
style.
another.
Roman,
Okay.
Greek, Egyptian.
So I'll get one
and
from
another I
Rufius
don't
because he's
recognize.
not from the same place everybody
That
else
means
is.
You'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th.
And I think the last one is that dude who... Oh my gosh,
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god.
The Christians?
Of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs.
Yep, okay, the Christians.
If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city.
Secret shrine, okay.
Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His
Georgius.
store is in the forum.
Okay. Egyptian?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm
Mystery
afraid
plaque.
you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Talk about something else.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina.
Bronx, I'm trying to get a haircut
and
in this
Aeneas
game
was
is
guided to the
not
exit.
allowing me to get a haircut right
The
now.
problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind.
Unfortunately, I reached the biggest point of exposition right as I booked my appointment.
I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you
I
were
hate being
worried
like
I'd
this on
think you
stream,
as
but I
bad
really
as
need to
an
get this
idiot.
haircut.
Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she is a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the
Not
way
really.
out? I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
Okay.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them.
All right, guys. I gotta go. I'm not even gonna worry about rating or anything like that today. Thank you guys for hanging out. And I will see you probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone. In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Thank you. That was like a 10-15 minute thing right there. Okay. Cool. We made good progress today. I'm happy about it. Thank you guys. Later.